All ships, ice has been spotted and maintain ice lookouts. Break formation is authorized.
Surface radar has a new contact. Bearing 323. Range 6,100 yards.
Bridge, combat. New surface contact from radar. Bearing 323. Range 6,100 yards. I designate contact able. Time 1947.
Contact able now bears 322. Range 5,000.
Lookout. Anything
yards.
at 322. I see nothing. Bearing 322.
Radio, Captain. Send a report to Convoy Commodore. Jansen has unknown contact on radar, left flank of the convoy.
Contact able coming in much more strongly. I evaluate as a definite contact. Contact able now bears 321. Range 5,600
Captain I.
yards.
Officer of the deck, set general quarters.
Set general quarters. Aye. General quarters. General quarters. All hands man your battle stations. Set condition zebra throughout the ship.
Contact able.
Stern depth charge detail manned and ready. Main battery reports manned and ready. Engineering officer watch reports engineering manned and ready. Zebra set. 4 boilers online. Max speed 32 knots. Electric plant split. All fire pumps online.
Very well.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Destroyer the U-Boat Hunter. So we got my favorite kind of mission for the third battle of Mission 8. Icebergs. Yes, of course.
Hockey, this
Well,
is Bloodhound.
here we
Clear to
go.
engage.
Roger. Hockey.
The good news is we're getting very close to the 9th and final mission. So I suspect there's going to be like a fourth battle for Mission 8. Then we start with the final mission, 9.
Contact able.
In which case there's probably going to be 4 battles for that mission. So,
7. Range.
you know, at least a handful more videos for this game, then we can say we're done with it.
Fire.
Anyway, my historical commentary for this one is going to be pretty short, but let's get on with it.
Fire.
The U.S. policy at the start of the war was actually to arm all fleet destroyers with 2 stern depth charge tracks with 5 500-pound depth charges each. The older flush deck destroyers could not accommodate the heavier charges and were provided with tracks for 24 or more 300-pound depth charges with K-guns being added.
From Bloodhound.
Now interestingly, no U.S. fleet destroyers had Hedgehogs mounted,
This is Bloodhound.
but every destroyer escort and patrol frigate, along with many flush deck destroyers converted to escort configuration, did have Hedgehogs on them. The problem was that the Hedgehog was heavy and it had a huge recoil. It's like 40 tons or something like that.
Roger.
In April of 1943, the commander of a Boston Atlantic Fleet anti-submarine warfare unit
Hockey.
recommended head-throwing weapons for destroyers.
Sonar reports sounds of a sinking submarine.
Alright, we got him, good.
Iceberg, starboard bow.
Now, the Commander Destroyers Atlantic approved the mousetrap for destroyers given its lighter weight and longer range. However, the mousetrap could not compensate for a ship's roll.
Surface radar has
Ultimately,
a new contact.
the Commander-in-Chief of the Navy, Admiral King,
Range
approved 12 Gleaves-class destroyers to each receive 3 Mark 22 8-rocket mousetrap launchers.
1.
The evaluation of these new weapons was fairly quick, but not necessarily positive.
Designate contact.
Ultimately, they were removed on 9 March 1944, and only USS Gillespie still had her mousetraps in the Pacific a year later.
Fire.
Handler, this is
By the end of the war, they were all gone, and U.S. destroyers did not mount head-throwing weapons again until after 1950. Now, regarding sonar, the U.S. began World War II in December of 1941 with the Q-series searchlight-type sonars on 170 destroyers. The improved QGA, which was contained in a new sonar dome, was fitted to 2,200-ton destroyers in 1944.
Sir.
This incorporated a bearing deviation, or BDI, indicator, which allowed the operator to sense changes in target bearing to avoid contact loss. A dual-frequency high and low system was used to achieve accurate bearings. Nice, that was a pretty good hit, Antler. In 1940, to the high and low frequencies actually meant 30 and 14 megahertz respectively. Mounted in a 100-inch long streamlined sonar dome, this allowed detection at up to 30 knots, assuming the destroyer was rigged for silent operation,
Range.
and at an attack speed of 18 to 20 knots.
Lookout. Oil slick.
Previous figures were 17 to 18 and 12 to 15 knots respectively.
From radar.
The sonar dome was also provided less water resistance at 2,200 pounds
I designate
at 30 knots versus 7,000 pounds for earlier types.
Combat sonar. Contact.
The high frequency, that is, short-range transducer, could be tilted to cover the dead zone and maintain contact with a submarine at close range. This is known as the maintenance of close contact, or MCC.
1, 5, 0.
QGA sonars were tested in 1944, but production was slow, and many submarine-class destroyers first received the new sonar dome with the older QC sets.
100 yards.
It's rather odd that the advanced sonar went to fleet destroyers rather than the more frontline anti-submarine warfare units like destroyer escorts.
6,200
It could be that the
yards.
MCC was considered less important in ships armed with ahead-throwing weapons.
Baker. Bearing 3.
By the end of the war, the Sumners and the Gearings, with their QGA sonars, were considered the most advanced fast escorts in service, and the Hedgehog was considered the most effective weapon in U.S. service. However, ultimately, neither were adequate for the task.
Baker. Bearing 3, 4, 8.
Alright, well, that's going to be my commentary for this one.
Surface radar.
Got a little bit more to say about historical commentary, but at this point we're kind of getting into like the post-war, which case it doesn't really apply to this game, so
Bridge combat. New surface
Anyway.
contact from radar. Bearing 3.
Alright, well here we go.
Range 7,600 yards. I
About you, go get dog.
Time 20.
2.
Combat sonar. Contact. Baker. Now bears 3, 2, 2. Range 300 yards. 3, 5, 1. Fire range 100 yards. Contact decrease. Fire 2. Lost contact.
Alright, we gotta make a run on Baker without running into this iceberg in front of us.
Last range 6,000.
That would be nice.
Yards. Combat sonar. Lost contact.
Let's try not to sink like Titanic did.
3, 5, 1. Last range 30 yards.
Bloodhound. This is Antler. Antler now has sonar contact. Baker.
Alright, Mountie, you go after Baker as well.
Range 200 yards from Bloodhound. 3, 3.
Yeah, I'm just gonna head north and see if I can get towards dog.
Bridge. Ice lookout. Iceberg.
Yeah, I didn't hit much anyway with that depth charge run, so
Antler. Antler now has
I'm a
sonar
failure.
contact.
I'm running
Baker.
away.
Bearing 1, 6, 9. Range 800 yards from Bloodhound.
Nice, pretty good hockey.
Combat sonar. Lost contact. Dog. Last bearing 3, 1, 4. Last range 2,400 yards. Ready depth charges. Surface radar has a new contact. Bearing 3, 1, 7. Range 5,400 yards. Combat sonar. Regain contact. Charlie. Bearing 3, 0, 0. Range 2,400 yards.
Bridge combat. New surface contact from radar.
Bearing 317. Range 5,400 yards. I designate contact easy. Time 20. 9.
Combat sonar. Contact. Charlie. Now bears 3, 0, 2. Range 2,100 yards.
Bloodhound, this is Hockey. Hockey made a depth charge attack on contact. Charlie, sonar reports sounds of a sinking submarine.
Alright, nice. Hockey, you got Charlie, so now you freed yourself up to go after Easy. Go get him.
4. Last range 1,700 yards.
Bloodhound, this is Maple. Maple regain contact. Dog. Bearing 3, 2, 8. Range.
You know, when I think about it, since I played this game so much.
Surface radar has
Oh
a
great,
new
another contact.
Bearing
Now Fox.
0, 3.
Oh look, they're over there.
Range 3,300
Hockey.
yards.
Bridge combat. New surface contact from
Okay,
radar.
fine, Hockey, you go after
Bearing
Fox.
0,
I'll
3,
go after
9.
Easy.
Range
Is that fair?
3,300 yards. I
Designate contact. Fox. Time.
Oh,
20.
Easy is right ahead of us. We got a periscopy.
Easy. Now bears 3, 0, 6. Range 1,000 yards. 200 yards. Estimated
Fire
depth
1.
Shallow. Fire
You know, now I'm thinking about this, I played this game so much, and you know, around like the 4th or the 5th mission, roughly halfway through the game,
Range 200.
I started getting pretty tired of it in a way.
This is Mountie. Mountie made a depth
I mean,
charge attack.
bearing in mind that I have all the assists turned on in the game, so I'm not like actually plotting these contacts out on the, you know, on the chart table out there, you know, and plotting our approaches and attacks and all that. So, but to me that's realistic because a captain would not do all those things anyway by himself. He would have, you know, his crew doing it, right?
Surface radar has a new contact. Bearing 229er. Range.
And another contact.
400
Sheesh.
yards.
Bridge combat. New surface contact from radar. Bearing.
Now we got
229. Range.
George out there.
400 yards. I designate contact.
All right, Mountie, you go get George. I know it's farther away, but go get it.
People lost contact. Last known at bearing 130.
Everybody gets a submarine. You get a submarine. You get a submarine. You get a submarine. Everybody gets a submarine.
George.
But anyway, you know, playing so much of this game lately,
Sonar.
you know, my biggest complaint is that there's not a whole lot to do in the game other than drop depth charges on stuff.
2. Investigating our.
And in a way, the way the game plays with all the assists turned on and all that, it feels very much like a tablet style of game, right?
Combat sonar.
You move your ship around and then you hit a button and you drop depth charges. You circle back around, you hit a button, drop depth charges. You circle back around, hit a button, drop depth charges. Oh look, the U-boat surfaced. Alright, shoot out it with your guns. It's gonna submerge.
20.
Go up to it, hit a button, drop depth charges.
Degrees left. Aye, sir.
And every so often you know, order your escorts around and it gets really busy.
Form active search. 1, 2, 5.
So in a way,
2, 2, 1, 5. Active search.
I guess, you know, like many games, right? You start off feeling really enthusiastic about them. Oh my god, this is incredible. This is going to be such a great and immersive simulator and all that. But, you know, when you play it and you learn the game mechanics, you realize, yeah, there's really not much else to this game.
Object 1/3 to the horizon, bearing 117 appears to be periscope feather.
Fire
Combat
1.
sonar.
Lost
All right,
contact.
see if we can get easy here.
Last bearing. Fire 2, 2, 1. Last range. Fire 3 yards. Combat sonar.
So in a way, this game does kind of live up to its name of being Destroyer the U-Boat Hunter,
Range 100 yards.
in that it kind of gets monotonous after a while, and it feels, I imagine, very much like what
8. Last range.
being on escort duty in the Atlantic would be like.
Contact Baker has most likely been sunk by Antler. Well done.
Okay, Antler got Baker, very good.
Rudder,
And there's a
25
U-boat right there.
degrees Left. Rudder 25 degrees.
But on the
left.
other hand, right, if you look at these statistics, right, most escorts
Rudder,
out there did
30
not sink
degrees
submarines.
left. Rudder degrees
Right.
left. Aye, sir.
So you could easily do a Google search for like the most successful, you know, anti-submarine ship out there. And, you know, one of the most successful was the destroyer escort USS England, but that actually was in the Pacific. They were not sinking German U-boats, they were sinking Japanese submarines.
Aye, sir.
But that's because they made use of very good kind of operational and strategic intelligence, and they happened to be in the right place at the right time, so they were successful at using the good intelligence and the good training of the crew to prosecute these submarine contacts. So, yeah, there's that.
Rudder 25.
But I mean, the amount of U-boats we're sinking in this game is like just ridiculous. It's unbelievable. It
Surface radar has
it flies in the face of what reality was like.
9er.
But then again, if you made it realistic, you know, and every once in a blue moon we might damage or sink a submarine or drive them off,
Bearing.
you know, not like sinking, you know, a bajillion U-boats like we've been doing throughout the game.
Contact. How?
If it was actually realistic to the amount of U-boat contacts and the amount of U-boats sunk by single units, by single ships in history, this would be an amazingly boring game, even more boring than it currently is.
5-8. Range.
Whereas here it's just monotonous, but
400 yards.
hey, at least you get to shoot at stuff and drop depth charges, I guess.
Bearing.
But that's my problem. That's all you do in this game. There's no variety to it.
400 yards. I designate
There's an argument in
contact
here for this notion, like, you know, you want your games to be, especially games like this that take place in a historical era, to be historically accurate, but
1,200 yards.
not at the expense of it being entertaining and fun to play.
Lost contact. George.
You know what I'm saying?
088. Last range.
So, I mean, if we really were to make this more actually realistically, the game was playing like this, you know, so, but it would be incredibly bland and boring to play.
1,500 yards.
But I think this game, it kind of
Mountie lost contact. George.
crosses a line, in effect, where it feels a bit arcadish, and
From Bloodhound.
the amount of damage that you do throughout the game, the U-boats,
Bearing.
just
Zero.
flies in the face of reality, and it defies
Closing
belief.
quickly. I say again.
So-
CBDR.
And it's just a one-trick pony. You do the same thing in this game, mission after mission after mission, battle after battle after battle.
Ready depth charges. Medium pattern.
So, yeah,
Bloodhound, this is Hockey.
it's both accurate in terms of, like, a lot of the tactics, but it's not accurate in terms of, like, you know, the amount of U-boats you're sinking. You're sinking so many of them. It's not accurate in the fact that, you know, you were in command of a fleet destroyer when, more realistically, you should probably be in command of a destroyer escort or a frigate of some sort. But, you know, the game developers went aboard USS Kidd and saw all the fancy stuff that destroyer had, but of course the Kidd was a Fletcher-class destroyer. So that's what they had to go off in terms of their research, so it's kind of natural that they made the game based on it. That, and they essentially made them a game out of the movie Greyhound, so... Which was okay. Fun to watch, but nothing much in terms of character development.
Range 4,600 yards.
There's another one of my issues with this game, is that there's no real sense of over what time period this stuff is taking place. There's no, like, narration regarding, like, the operational or strategic situation. Where are we exactly in this war now? I mean, the Battle of the Atlantic was the largest and longest ongoing campaign of the entire war. But what year is this? What month is this?
4,100.
Nobody's said anything.
Bridge, starboard lookout. Object 1/3 to the horizon. Bearing.
So for all I know, we could still be in, like, 1942 or something.
Periscope feather.
Combat sonar.
I doubt it, though, but...
Investigating arc. 3, 5, 8.
Anyway, let's drop depth charges on item here.
Sonar eye.
Stand by to fire.
Ready depth charges. Shallow pattern.
Bloodhound, this is Antler. Antler made a depth charge.
Combat sonar. New sonar contact. Fire 1. Bearing 179. Fire 2. 30 yards. Combat sonar. Lost fire 3. Item. Last bearing 179. Last range 30 yards. Rudder.
Bridge. Port lookout. Oil slick. Bearing. 2. Bridge.
Yeah, so I'm getting pretty good at eyeballing those attack runs on these submarines when they're at periscope depth. As long as I can kind of determine which direction the submarine is pointing based on the periscope feather, you know, the water that's spraying off the periscope, so...
600 yards. Active search 1.
We might have gotten an item there.
9 through 2. 6. Combat sonar. Lost contact.
Yep, we sank item.
Last bearing.
Very good.
2, 4. Last range 3,300 yards.
Bloodhound, this is Hockey. Hockey lost contact. Fox. Last known bearing 229. Range 5,200 yards from Bloodhound.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie regained. Contact George. Bearing 221. Range 3,700 yards from Bloodhound.
Ready depth charges. Medium pattern.
Bridge.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie now has sonar contact. George. Bearing 216. Range 3,700 yards from Bloodhound.
All escorts. Contact item has most likely been sunk by Bloodhound. Congratulations to your crew.
I'm Bloodhound.
Surface radar has a new contact. Bearing 151. Range.
Well, how did Jig get all the way over there
Contact George. Now bears
without sinking any of the things? They're literally situated right in between a bunch of the merchants.
900 yards. Weak propeller noise.
Bridge, combat. New surface contact from radar. Bearing 151. Range 5,200 yards. I designate contact. Jig. Time.
Alright, we're gonna have to haul butt right through the middle of the convoy here without hitting anything.
Last known at bearing 280. Range.
There they are. For some reason we can't shoot at them.
Contact Jig now bears 1,
They're right there.
3.
Something must be in our way.
1,700 yards.
Start tracking.
Maybe they won't
contact.
shoot at us
Target
because of
acquired.
what's behind the target.
Target apparent.
Well, let's fire star
4,
shells
3.
then.
Range 1,000.
Maybe they're afraid we'll hit the merchant ships or something.
Jig now bears 1, 3, 5. Range 1,100 yards.
Load illumination rounds. Illuminate. 1.
Illuminate.
Bloodhound, this is Hockey.
Deluminate.
Hockey lost contact. Fox. Last
You're gonna
known
be the
bearing.
only mad dog killer type around here, huh?
4,000
Exactamundo.
from Bloodhound.
Target bearing.
That's what you remind me of. An evil Mr. Rogers.
Load point detonating round.
He doesn't know how to use 3 seashells.
Now bears 1, 0.
I can see why that would be a problem.
1,100.
Oh my god, I'm quoting Demolition Man now.
Last bearing 0, 9er 0.
Lost contact. Jig. Last
Fire
bearing.
1.
1.
0, 0.
Last range. Fire 30 yards.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie.
Fire
Mountie
3.
regained. Contact George. Bearing 3, 0, 4. Range 5,000 yards from Bloodhound. Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie made a death charge attack on contact. George. Unknown results. Range 4,100 yards.
Yards. Very strong propeller noise.
Alright, Jig is at periscope depth.
Set ahead.
Bridge, starboard lookout. Object 1/3 to the
Big mistake, bro.
1, 5, 0. Appears to be. Periscope feather.
I found you.
Contact.
Now I'm going to
Now
kill you.
bears 1, 5, 0.
Find him and we're gonna put him in a hurt locker.
200 yards.
Let's go find this guy and blow him. Away! Blow this guy away! Whatever.
Aye, sir. Rudder amidships. Rudder amidships.
Alright. That's good. Fire!
Fire 1 sonar. Lost contact. Jig. Last
Yep.
bearing.
Playtime's over, Jig. Time for something new and improved.
Last range. 200 yards.
So what, needs batteries? What size?
Bloodhound.
Battery
This
store
is
around here?
Antler lost contact. How?
Where you find
Last
batteries
known
in the
at
future?
bearing 3, 0, 2. Range 4,600 yards.
Wow, I'm
from
getting
Bloodhound.
damaged with non-exploding
Oil slick. Bearing
depth
3,
charges here.
3, 1.
Jig. Last
Fire
bearing.
1.
2. 7. 3.
Last range. Fire 30 yards.
Bridge.
Ice lookout.
Luckily, I haven't hit an iceberg yet. We're close to a massive one.
Last known at bearing 3, 0, 2. Range 5,200 yards from Bloodhound.
Bloodhound, this is Hockey. Hockey made a depth charge attack on contact. Fox. Unknown results.
Rudder 15 degrees right. Rudder 15 degrees right. Aye, sir.
Bridge, starboard lookout. Oil slick, bearing 0, 8, 7.
Sonar, this is the captain. Perform active search. 0, 4, 4, 2, 1, 3, 4.
Active search. 0. 4.
Bloodhound, this is Antler. Antler lost contact. How? Last known at bearing 3, 1, 4. Range 4,100 yards from Bloodhound.
Bloodhound, this is Maple. Maple regain contact. Easy. Bearing 3, 0, 7. Range 4,500 yards from Bloodhound.
New course 0, 6, 0. Course 0, 6, 0. Aye, sir.
Range 5,000.
Well, I think we got Jig there, so that's good.
Bloodhound, this is Antler. Antler regained
Now we
contact.
just have
How?
E, F, G,
Bearing
H
2, 9,
to take care of.
Range 5,300 yards from Bloodhound.
Okay, Mountie, did you take care of George there? Nope, they're still alive. Nice, we just got Hal there. Antler got Hal. And Hal.
Antler reporting.
Okay, Antler, go after
this is Bloodhound.
George.
You're clear to
while you're at it.
engage.
Roger. Antler engaging. Bloodhound, this is Antler. Antler made a depth charge attack on contact. How? Sonar reports sound of a sinking submarine. Easy. Bearing 228. Range 6,700
Nice. We
yards.
just
from
got George there too. All right, Mountie, head up that
Mountie,
way.
This is Bloodhound.
Let's even get sonar
Maneuver to
contact on
station.
Fox.
Bearing 336. Range 3,800 yards from guide.
Roger. Mountie maneuvering to station. Bearing 336. Range 3.
Bloodhound, this is Antler. Antler now has sonar contact. Easy. Bearing 227. Range 6,600 yards from Bloodhound.
Antler, this is Bloodhound. Engage contact. Easy.
Roger. Antler engaging contact. Easy.
Antler, this is Bloodhound. Attack your contact.
Acknowledged.
Bloodhound, this is Mountie. Mountie made a depth charge attack on contact. George. Sonar.
Bloodhound, this is Antler. Antler now has sonar contact. Easy.
I think we've pretty much come close to driving them off, so
600 yards from Bloodhound.
Sonar, this is the captain.
All escorts, return to assigned.
Yep, there we go. We are
That was one hell
successful.
of a battle, but we managed to hold our own.
That was one hell of a battle. The Germans didn't stand a chance. If we keep this up, we just might be able to win this war. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, well that gives us an A? Hey, an S. Alright, epic victory. No ships lost, 8 boats sunk. Very good.
That was one hell of a fight. The enemy tried time after time, but they could not penetrate our defenses. We protected the convoy well. All of the merchants made it. We kept the U-boats at bay, and that's what counts. We really overwhelmed the U-boats today. The combined threat of sonar and radar gave them nowhere to hide. All throughout that battle, I was worried that we might hit an iceberg. Thank God that didn't happen. All things considered, things are going really well. The previous convoy to pass this longitude reported an attack. The convoy and routing division pushed our track to the north, hopefully to avoid that wolf pack. Will the Germans manage to reach us here?